Dear students, today we will see the secondary storage system and how exactly it works. So let us concentrate on this particular diagram, which will help us to know how our secondary storage devices or systems will work. You know the examples of secondary storage. It might be our floppy disk, hard disk, CD, DVDs. All these are come under storage devices, which are called as secondary storage devices, which all of you know that. And all these storage devices are cheaper than the main memory or primary storage device, and it can store huge number of information than the main memory or primary memory. Okay, let us concentrate on this particular diagram. So this diagram will help us to understand different components of the secondary storage devices. So see here, these things are called as platters. CDs or kind of these circular things are called as platters, and each platter has track. I repeat, each platter has a track T. So and these tracks have a number of sectors. So that means platter stores the information in terms of tracks and in terms of sectors. So I'll be having many tracks as well as a number of sectors. So whenever I want to access the information, I require both which track and which sector a particular information has been kept in. I hope it is clear. This is a circular or CD like thing is called as platter, and each platter has tracks, and each track has a number of sectors. So that means each platter has a number of sectors. Okay, now see here, that's what has been shown here. Sector, yes, as I said, these things. Okay, so information, if you want to access, we should be knowing which track, which sector it should be. Now the track in a particular position of the arm is called as the cylinder. I repeat, the track in a particular position of the arm is called as the cylinder. Now let us see, and this is what we call it as spindle. So the spindle is used to keep all these platters. Here there are 3, there might be 10, 20 in a rigid manner, so that whenever there is a rotation of this particular spindle, all platters should rotate. So this is required to make sure that to access the information. I repeat, spindle is used to keep all the platters intact. Okay, and here we have a arm supported by a read write head, which is on the tracks of the platters. So these things, this read write head will help us to read information from the secondary storage and even write the information to the secondary storage. I repeat, read information or write information is, reading or writing of information is done through what you call as read write head, which is connected to a arm, and which is in turn connected to a arm assembly. So here I have 3 platters, then I will be having 3 arms and read write head set of 3 in this below and here. So whenever this rotates, the position of read write head will help us to access the information in that particular track, in that particular sector. Hope you understood the working. Again repeat, platters, we store information in platters, and each platter has a track, and each track has different set of sectors, and arm position the track in one particular arm position is called as cylinder, as shown here, and all the platters are connected through a thing called as spindle, which will help us to rotate all the platters at a time. That means they have been kept intact, and I have read write head to help to read the information from the platter, or write the information, and there is a arm, then there is a arm assembly which will help us to access the information. Hope this diagram is clear to all of you. Now certain terms to be known before getting into details of these secondary storage devices. The transfer time. What it is? The transfer time is the transfer rate or time. It's a rate at which data flow between drive and the computer. Because I request for a data reading, then the time taken by the request, from the request made by the user, and to bring that particular information to the user. That's what we call it as transfer rate. Is rate at which data flows between the drive and the computer, because usually the user is not in direct contact with secondary storage, but he will ask through CPU, through main memory, and that has to be brought in and he will use it. So that's why the transfer time is most time it will take to bring information from secondary memory to the main memory, whatever information is being asked. Now positioning time, and it is also sometimes called as random access time. So positioning time is these read write head should be placed on a particular cylinder. That time is called as seek time. I repeat, positioning time is also called as random access time, and is a time to move disk arm to desired cylinder. The information the information which I want is in a particular track or a sector, and I have to move to a particular cylinder. That is what we call it as seek time. And time for desired sector to rotate under the disk head is called as rotational latency. So there are two things happens in positioning. One is bringing arm to this cylinder, and from then to the sector, then only I will get the information. So it has two components. One is seek time as well as the rotational latency. You know that it is a kind of delay. Okay, now there is one more term called as head crash. See, these read write heads are placed in such a way that the platter is rotating under these, in between these read write heads. What will happen is, sometimes if this read write head falls or touches the platter, then information will be lost, because magnetism available on platter will go off. Okay, so that will not save the information, due to which what will happen, the whole disk will be, or whole platter will be wasted. We don't have any recovery techniques to do this. Okay, even though there is a coating between these two read write head in the platters, but even then sometimes this may happen, and this will damage the whole platter of disk. That is what we call it as head crash. Hope the terminologies and the transfer time, positioning time, and head crash meaning is clear to all of you. Now let us see the different operations which you can perform on secondary devices. As you all know, one is the read and second one is write. Either you can read the information from the secondary device, or you can write the information from the secondary device. I hope it is clear. Different operations, there are only two, read or write. Now outcome of the above operations, what will happen? Out of these three, one thing will happen. One is whether it is read or write operation, it is successful. That means if you want to read something, you will get it. If you want to write something, you will write it successfully. Another one is it might be partial successful. Partial means some of the information may not be read, or some of the information you may not get it because of some what you call as head crash, or some part of the platter is not working properly. So that means that information we won't get it from the disk. So that is what is called as partial successful. And total failure, as name suggests, you can't be reading anything or you can't be writing anything in case of a major head crash. Okay, I repeat, successful means you will get the information what you want, or you may uh, read the information or write the information whatever. Partial means some part of the information you may not get it due to some problem, and total failure means you can't read or you can't write things. So I hope things are clear. For any clarification you can contact me. Thank you very much for watching.